Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for WandaVision, Season 1, Episode 3, Now in Color. Welcome, everybody. And yes, I do have the background up now at this point in time. Uh, not fully up, of course. I don't have any of the decorations or anything like that up there that I normally have, but that's coming. It will be coming. Don't worry about that. Let me move that microphone a little bit closer there. There we go. Now that's better. Let me take care of some business first. Oh, you know what? I realized my spoiler alert sign's on the other side of the room. So that's the one thing I forgot. Anyway, let me take care of some business first and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down there. Also, if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule that's up there. I try and change it out every week, but yeah, with the moving stuff, it's been a little bit difficult. Hopefully, I'll be better next week here. Also, I have all the links to my social media, so Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. No tier sip on the Patreon. I'm waiting until I hit 1,000 subscribers, which I'm getting close, before I take money from you guys. That way I can give you something if you give me money. Also, I have the pages up, or the links to my pages for this YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and for our Facebook group page for those of you who still have Facebook, so you can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. All right. Spoiler alert. Yes, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. I don't have my sign with me at the moment. So yes, that's their spoiler alert. That's what you're getting right there. So we finally got names of the first two episodes, by the way, too. The first episode was filmed before a live studio audience, is what the first one was called. The second one was called Don't Touch That Dial. This one is Now in Color, is what it's called. And of course, it has to do with Wanda's rapid pregnancy. And we've shifted over into the 70s now at this point. Obviously, we have a lot of Brady Bunch themed stuff going on, a little bit of Partridge Family, sprinkled in there too. But yeah, and then there's the whole thing about the naming convention where she knows it's going to be a boy, which is kind of weird. So she wants to name him Tommy, and of course, Vision wants to name him Billy. Yeah, and things start going awry when Geraldine shows up, who, by the way, I didn't catch this in the first two episodes, but that is actually Monica Rambeau. That's right. So Monica Rambeau is, we have seen Monica Rambeau in the movies before in Captain Marvel as a young woman, or a young girl, I should say. And she is now a young woman here because, of course, Captain Marvel took place in the 90s, and Monica Rambeau is all grown up now and looks to be a member of S.w.o.r.d, because she was wearing the little S.w.o.r.d pendant on her, and she's helping Wanda get through get through the birth, I should say, while Vision is outside talking to Agnes and Herb. And they were doing some really weird shit where they kept saying that she doesn't belong here. She has no family, no husband, no home. And Vision's like, yeah, so. And then they said that she came here because we're all, and then Vision's like, what? Because we're all what? And Agnes is like, well, we can't talk about it, kind of thing. And she takes off. And yeah, some very weird shit going on. And Herb is just like, yep, I'm going off to do my own thing. And of course, Geraldine pisses off Wanda by basically mentioning Pietro and saying he was killed by Ultron, wasn't he? Which is something from the outside world, something that Wanda does not want to relive, something that it's a pain that she doesn't want to feel anymore. And there's been some theories about what this is all about. And it's either the 5 or the 7 stages of grief. And This one, of course, would be anger at this point, is where we would be at. Somewhere around there. People were speculating that the first two episodes were actually one segment, the first segment of grief, and then the second one is the second denial, I guess you could say. So it's shock, denial, anger is the first three there. And I don't know so much if we're still in denial so much as the anger portion. She seems to be showing a lot more anger than anything else. And um she boots Geraldine out of the continuity of wherever she is, out of Westview. And we see Geraldine, Monica get tossed out of, we see Westview as it is in the real world, and we see Monica get spit right out of it, and she comes out of this bubble, if you will, and lands on the grass. And there's a huge military presence that's there and surrounding this Westview. They have lights on it, and we see that there's kind of a barrier, if you will, over the front, which is obviously from Wanda at this point. And that's pretty much how we leave off on the episode. So there's a lot of speculations going on here online about what this is. We know that Doctor Strange is involved somehow in this series because it's supposed to lead into Doctor Strange in the multiverse of madness is what this is. So I guess that's what we're talking about here is that Wanda's creating this multiverse. Ooh, sorry, hitting all kinds of stuff here. Still getting used to my setup. I think I'm a little too close to the camera. I need to be back a little further here. Um, and I can see parts of that. I was actually trying to see if the shield has any kind of mystic runes on it, or if it's actually just Wanda that's projecting that shield. And I didn't see any kind of runes or anything like that that normally show up with Stephen Strange's, mystic symbols and whatnot. Although I can't really be sure. I kind of went back and kept looking, kept looking, kept looking. And it might be a mixture of the two. It might be her and him. I don't know for sure. We have to go into a little bit more, of course. This is 9 episodes this season. So we're in episode 3 right now. So yes, we have, 6 more to go. But yeah, I'm kind of liking it. Oh, there's also another theory that's out there too, is that Wanda made a deal with Mephisto, and that's how Vision has come back, is because of that. Uh, and yes, I agree with you, Stanley. The end credits do look a little quantum realmy as well. So there's all kinds of stuff going on here. We don't know for sure what's happening, but that's what I'm kind of liking about this series is things are being unwrapped as we're watching it, and we don't know what's going on. We know the characters, but do we really know the characters? We're pretty much inside their mind or inside Wanda's mind at this point. We do know that it takes place right after Endgame is when this is supposed to take place. Um, so that would make sense that Wanda's, grieving for Vision, um, and just pissed off in general of everything that happened. I mean, she pretty much got shafted on everything here. I mean, she lost her brother, pretty much lost her country, lost Vision, who she was having a relationship with or starting a relationship with, and was forced to have these powers, thrust upon her by Strucker. So, or not Strucker, excuse me, but by Hydra. So yeah. Um, Stanley says, purely as a viewer, I would prefer to binge this series. I don't, quite honestly. I can see the appeal of it because you don't know what's happening, and it's easy to binge, but I think a lot of it would be missed. There are some subtle clues throughout this entire thing. Like in the first episode where we had the toaster from Stark Industries. If you look in the toaster, there's little symbols 999 that's etched into it that actually has a reflection that says 666. Take what you will out of that. Mephisto is usually in Marvel comics portrayed as the devil, if you will. And there's other stuff too, like Dottie in episode 2 talking about the devils and the details. And she says, "Oh, there's something cryptic around the, this. It's much more than that, or he's in much more than that. Something like that is what she says." So we are leaning towards that whole Mephisto realm, which supposedly is supposed to be the next big bad for the next phase of Marvel, movies, for the MCU movies. And that makes sense, bringing in the mystic portion of this, bringing in the supernatural portion of this. And I'm glad that maybe they're going to actually start delving into Marvel's mystic supernatural side in the movies, because that's what they need to do. They really do. But yeah, so what is the meaning of the Hydra soak? Uh, is Wanda soaked in Hydra? Oh, you mean the it's a brainwash, is what that is, Stanley. The Hydra soak is the Hydra brainwash, is what that was. I thought that was actually kind of funny. They did a nice little job of that about the brainwashing portion of it, and they literally took it as a soaking, a washing, if you will, and that made me laugh. I have to admit, that little Hydra thing. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Here, let us take care of that for you. Everything will be better now with Hydra wash or Hydra soak. Yeah, that was some good stuff. But and then also it was kind of weird with her cutting into the wall with the hedge trimmers and not noticing, and also not doing any damage to the hedge clippers whatsoever. So there's some oddities that are going on at this point, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the way it's playing out. I like that it's playing. I know a lot of people are pissed off, like s- I know a lot of people are kind of just want it now. They want the answer now. They don't want to wait anymore. They don't want the puzzle to be unwrapped slowly. They just want the puzzle to begin now. You know, what's the frequency, Kenneth? Yeah. I don't know. I'm actually enjoying this. I'm enjoying the slow burn of this one. And I'm sure by the time it ends, everyone's going to go, "Oh, that was actually really clever. That was actually really good." And that's what I'm thinking is going to happen with this. And remember, this is the new Marvel TV's first foray into TV without the Jeff Loeb influence or anything like that. This is Kevin Feige's baby, if you will, at this point. And it's not Agents of Shield, it's not Hellstrom, it's not, for God's sakes, the fucking Inhumans, nothing like that. It's actually based off of the MCU, and I have total faith in them at this point. So when you have 20 some odd movies and only like a few, and I can say you could count them on one hand, that are, you know, bad movies, I still give them credit on this one. I really do. So, yeah, I'm all for it. As the old saying was, make mine Marvel. That's what it was. Stanley says it's bold, but also a little slow. I disagree with you on it, Stanley. I mean, um, I like where it's going. I like this mystery, and it's not a fucking mystery box either. It's not a J.J. Abrams mystery box, which I'm, again, thankful for that we're not having that either. Uh, yeah, we don't need any more fucking mystery boxes. Fuck that shit. Man. Well, with that said, I'm looking forward to next week. I am looking forward to next week's. I believe we're hitting the 80s next week is what we're supposed to be doing. If we're doing 50s, 60s, 70s, then we're going to the 80s now. And I'm wondering what stage that if we're going through stages of grief or if we're working through things. I don't know what's going on at this point. It's all speculation from here, but I'm looking forward to next week's. So what else is going on with me? Tomorrow is another episode, well, a new episode of Saturday Morning Blast Off. That's right, it's back. Sorry about last week. I had some moving drama, and yeah, like I said, I had to threaten the movers with police involvement in order to get my stuff back. That's what happens. So that was what Saturday was all spent on. But tomorrow is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the weekend and genre stuff you guys want to talk about, and we talk about it. Sunday and Monday, I'm going to be off. Tuesday, depending on how things look, I'll probably end up doing another Is It Worth My Time? I don't know as of yet. Time permitted. I'm going to see. That's a tentative on that one. But Wednesday is The Expanse. That's right. The Expanse is on Wednesday. Thursday, I'll be off, and Friday will be WandaVision. Actually, I take that back. Thursday might actually be Resident Alien on Sci-Fi. I know it premieres on Wednesday, the 27th, but that's fucking Expanse Day. I'm sorry. I'm not doing Resident Alien on top of The Expanse. Just not doing that. Are you looking forward to Clarice? No, I'm not. I'm not even gonna bother with Clarice. Do you hear the lambs, Clarice? And also, I'm going to say this about this series, WandaVision. Anything that can use the monkeys, cheer up Sleepy Jean in there, I'm all for, quite honestly. So I grew up just the tail end of the monkeys' reign of terror, I guess you could say, depending on how you view things. And so the monkeys were in reruns by the time I was in grade school. But I mean, these guys were playing concerts and shit like that, like huge stadium concerts and stuff, and they were popular in the day. Even though, yes, they were a Beatles ripoff and blah 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 blah, but they had some catchy pop tunes. Had a nice beat and you could dance to it. It was just happy music. That's all it was at the time. But anyway, I actually had a little bit of a flashback on that song, so that was good. And I'm glad we got fucking Monica Rambeau in this. Quite honestly, I'm so psyched that we've got an adult Monica Rambeau, and I'm hoping that she's got powers. That would be awesome if she has powers. I doubt it, but maybe by the end of the series, she might have powers. We don't know, depending on what Wanda does. What kind of craziness Wanda does with her powers. We'll see what happens. Because it looks like Wanda is the one that is basically doing a lot of shit. I mean, when she was. So the other thing we need to talk about too, and I keep forgetting about this, was when she was going through labor or having the pains and stuff like that. Stuff was happening in the house that she says that she wasn't doing. So was that the twins that were doing this, or was it an outside force that was doing this? That we don't know. Or was she subconsciously doing it and then not realizing that she was doing this? There's 3 different things to choose from there on that. So that was the other weird thing about this episode. I wonder who in the people in Wanda's world. I think all of them are real, Stanley. So I think everyone is real, and they either choose to accept the world that they are in, or they get expelled from Westview. And if they don't fit with the narrative, if they don't fit with Wanda's narrative and they don't get with the program, if you will, they get expelled from Westview, kind of like what happened with Monica, aka Geraldine. And by the way, Geraldine is a nice callback to Flip Wilson's character in the 70s. That Flip Wilson was a famous comedian. He was on TV. He had the Flip Wilson Variety Hour all that stuff in the 70s. And he had a character that he did called Geraldine. And that's what that's from. Does Agnes want to help her? I think Agnes does want to help her. I think so. I think Herb might have actually been a S.w.o.r.d agent that got turned. I'm thinking that's what the case was on that one. But and Dottie, we don't know who Dottie is, but some people think that she might have been somebody in the Marvel Comics realm that people know. We don't know for sure who we haven't gotten enough information. We're only getting half-hour episodes here. We've only gone 3 in, so we're an hour and a half into the show, if you will. And it's still building, which I'm glad. There's a lot of questions, yes, but I'm okay with that. All right. Do these earrings make yes, I did love that when Dottie comes out, "Honey, do these earrings make me look fat?" And then the power goes out and goes, "Oh, thank God." That is comical genius right there. All right. I'm going to let you guys go for the day. Thank you to everybody who joined me today in the chat. Looks like there's a few of you, but only Stanley's talking. But the rest of you out there, thank you as well. And thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you can, hit that like button and the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, hit that bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. And when I remember to update it, well, I actually usually do, but like I said, trying times right now with the moving stuff. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go for the day. Thank you, everyone. Again, I will see you tomorrow for Saturday morning blast off. So until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find yourself expelled from Westview. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Can never tell. Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your day. Stay safe, be well, take care, and wear those masks. Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.